Right, so I was thinking whether I should be going into the harbor, and I've decided against it, because as I said, I want to stick with my decision to not get anything done this day and see how Kim reacts to that at the end of the day. And I think if we go inside the harbor, we'll have to talk to Everard before we can get out again. So, let's do a couple other things. Like, we could talk to Tommy le Homme. We can look at, like, the Kineema, this guy and the statue, and do other stuff around the traffic jam here.
Before you stands a motor carriage. The bodywork is covered in blue and white livery, bearing the number 57. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Kim, what are we looking at? What is this machine?
This is the Kineema, my motor carriage. You can use the toolbox and the radio if you'd like.
He nods at the cabin.
Motor carriage, motor carriage. Something bad with a motor carriage. A dark lump rises in your throat.
And we know what this is, of course. Weren't we supposed to have a motor carriage? What happened to it? What is this sinking feeling I have with the words motor carriage?
Nothing. It's probably nothing. Forget I brought it up. Please proceed with the carefree lollygagging.
Like, I like Inland Empire here, right? Because it's not a paranormal skill. It's basically just a skill about our inner life and how well we remember stuff from the past, right? It's no mystic power giving us any insight. It's just our personality is slightly different than it would be with lower Inland Empire. Can we turn it on and drive somewhere?
No, I'm afraid not. We have a murder case on our hands, remember?
He straightens his spine. Okay, but what is a motor carriage?
A motorized vehicle, officer. I'm sure you are familiar with the concept. We've had these for nearly a century.
Do all policemen in the RCM have such cool motor carriages?
The Caprice Motorcar does provide most of our patrol vehicles, yes.
He doesn't even take our compliment. I wonder if this would be different if we treated him better before.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Run your fingers over one of the steering levers.
The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm.
Tap on the fuel preheater gauge.
As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm. Next to the gauge is a red switch labeled heat.
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without the ignition key.
Alternative translation. Don't even think you can drive my MC.
Pull out the toolbox.
A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place. The tools inside are neatly organized.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my tools, like some men are.
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. But what can you do? Work is work.
This is one of the reasons. I mean, there are so many other reasons and better reasons, but this is one of the reasons why Kim is such a cool character, right? Because they give him passions. And he's not just like a cardboard cutout that's walking right next to us. He has things he likes, things he dislikes. He has a political opinion. And he has things that he's excited about. He gets excited about. Like his car. And that's pretty cool, I think. And it's not as self-evident as you would assume that characters you spend a lot of time on actually have like formulated preferences and passions. and dislikes and stuff like that. It's what makes like a good human character.
The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand, heavier than you'd think. Cold and heavy, like truth. You feel like you're reunited with truth once more.
Take the rubber-handled chain cutters.
The handles are long and sleek. Snap, snap, go the cutters in your hand.
Take the hand-cranked flashlight.
It's robust, weatherproof, and well-made. Police issue, blue. Lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise miss.
Nice.
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on the steering levers and the radio on its hook.
Do we want to do anything on the radio? Because I remember I don't want to get anything done that Kim's happy about at the end of the day.
The frequency tablet lights up, and the green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. And then you hear something.
Because I'm sure there's a dialogue option for it, right? I literally want him to say, like, we did nothing of what we were supposed to do. I mean, I guess we talked to Guard, unfortunately, for a first time. But we have to talk to him, right? Because we have to give him our money for the night anyways. But apart from that, like, I don't want to talk to Sylvie. I don't want to report my badge as missing. Does Kim even know my badge is missing? Or did I lie to him? I'm not quite sure.
The soft purr of electrical kittens. Radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through the static.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Lieutenant? Is that how
Hello,
it's said in French?
Please assist our colleague from the 41st precinct here. I'm putting him on.
Hi, Alice. Nah, that's too nice. Come in dispatch, come in dispatch.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
You could swear she was friendlier with the lieutenant. What else can I do? Oh, I could ask them for money, right?
Just a second, officer.
She puts you on hold, the static crackling softly like a bonfire. After a while, you hear an old man greet you from the radio. His rattly voice sounds oddly familiar.
10-2, 10-5. This is 41st. Come in. Over.
Jules Pidieu. And remember, we had a whole Shivers conversation in our head with these characters earlier.
A scrawny old man sits in a dusty cubicle,
Nice.
smoking, with a large white rectangle sewn on his vest. In front of him is a box-shaped apparatus with an array of wires and antennas. The radio switchboard.
Hi, this is me here. I work at your station.
10-4, what's your status? Over.
It's not good.
10-18, 10-20, over.
Can you repeat that?
10-18, 10-20, over.
Please, can you just talk human to me? Those numbers mean nothing.
State your message, sir. Over.
This might sound odd, but there's personal details I'd like to discuss.
10-4, your badge should have most of your personal details. Look over that. Over.
Of course, my badge. I can look at my badge that I have.
10-4, anything else for you, sir? Over.
I'm in dire need of financial assistance.
10-4, I hear you. I don't have the authority to grant your request, but...
Is it him? What does he want?
A dry voice asks in the background. The voice of Jean Vicmar, our partner.
He says he needs money.
Don't give that asshole anything. He's just gonna drink it all.
Alright, that's a negative on the additional funds, sir.
The operator turns back to you. And I was about to say this is dramatic irony, which is... But it isn't, right? This is another, like, excellent writing decision that adds so much depth and hilarity to this situation, right? That makes it more than just a call to our station. Is that we're going through all these operators and dispatchers and not actually talking to the people who are in a position to help us. Like, we're not just calling our partner, right? That would like severely reduce the layers of this conversation. We're calling this dispatcher, and he's telling our partner, and he's telling him back, and there's a whole lot of things like lost in translation, if you will, that are obviously hilarious to experience, right? Especially because we hear everything anyways. So we do hear what Vigmar is saying and what the others will be saying, but we also hear the summary, or what Pidieu is saying. Oh no, what Vigmar is saying, but we also hear Pidieu's summary. And in this case, obviously, don't give the asshole anything is not what he's relaying, right? But he's very professional about it. And that whole dynamic, I mean, that adds so much to this conversation that could have just been a boring call, right? And there's so many things like this in this game. I love it. Like, almost every time you talk to someone, and you talk to people a lot, there's like more than one layer to the conversation in so many ways. Like, there's usually like a political undercurrent, there's world building going on, there is relationship building going on, there is character defining things going on, and then there is the straight up pragmatic relay of information going on. And like almost every sentence of writing in this game does so much. It's incredible. I've rarely seen any other game do it as expertly as this. Like in a lot of other games, like pragmatic relay of information is all you're getting in dialogue, right? And that gets boring very fast. And here, of course, it's also a character-defining moment for Harry, or for our Harry, for how we want to play them, right? Like, how are we... We're not just asking for money, because in the end, we can't get any in this situation, right? But it's about how we ask for money and how they react. And this would be very professional. This would be also very professional or matter of fact. I'm not even gonna start with a professional answer, even though after that we can still say this. I'm gonna straight go to the emotional whiny one. Please, I'm begging here. I don't even have a place to sleep tonight.
He says he's in trouble. Doesn't have a place to sleep.
Well, I guess he'd better crack the case before sundown then.
Vigmar said...
Who cares what this Vigmar said? Pull on their heartstrings. Enough, officer. This begging is below your dignity.
And again, I like how the different aspects of our personality offer different pieces of advice here, right? And not necessarily, there's like, one's not necessarily better than the other. In many situations there's like a correct one, and sometimes your skills lead you astray, but in this case there's not a correct one, there's just different ones that basically lead to different ways you can embarrass yourself. This is gonna cost me morale, I think. I hope not more than one, because then I'd have to use some magnesium, but let's see. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go home. Please, come and get me.
He said, it's okay. You can do it, sir. Over.
Like how like his completely professional matter-of-fact facade cracks a bit, and he's actually consoling us. He seems to lower his voice a bit, carefully choosing his words.
What is he saying?
And Vigmar is having none of it.
Did you want anything else, sir? Many of your colleagues are also here. Over.
Nice. Thanks for the heads up, Pidieu. Please, I don't want to be here. I have to...
Suddenly, the necktie feels like a boa constrictor around your neck, squeezing the dear life out of you.
We only get this if we're actually wearing this, right? And I think it's the only piece of clothing in the game that talks to us. It's the horrific necktie, after all. Which is, like, almost reason enough to never take it off, right?
Hey! If you don't want to have the most intense orgasm of your life, fine! Don't!
I didn't even get this. The grip eases a little. I didn't even get this the last time, I think. Autoerotic asphyxiation by the horrific necktie.
He terminated the connection. I guess he was in a hurry.
I didn't terminate the connection, I just couldn't talk because my necktie was literally strangling me. The radio operator is no longer speaking to the microphone and is addressing someone in the background. Please, I'm scared. I can't breathe. Help me, please.
The radio falls silent.
There we go,
and
one morale.
lifeless. The communications officer has disconnected the call.
Oh no! So, because my necktie was strangling me, they thought I hung up, and we don't get to hear that whole thing where like basically the entire station is laughing about us, I think. That's a shame. So maybe it's not a good idea to have the necktie on at all times.
What was that? It's okay, detective.
The lieutenant asks in a soft voice, gently grabbing your shoulder. And that's nice. Kim's still empathetic, even though we've been like a complete piece of shit to him so far, right? I'm wondering whether any of these will have any effect on any stats. We call it subterfuge in the force. Ever heard of it?
We should get on with our tasks. Work always helps me center myself. Now, anything else you need from my vehicle, or...?
He gives you a long, concerned look, then nods.
18 kilometers to the south, in the 41st Precinct's relay booth, a small crowd has gathered around Communication Officer Jules Oldboy Pidier. Around a dozen cops.
We do actually get this. I think last time I got this too, by the way, even though my esprit de corps wasn't as high. But it's only a medium check.
The small room is filled with cigarette smoke, abuzz with laughter, when Officer Judith Minnow enters. Her left arm is in bandages, and her hair trimmed short.
They're not really empathetic with us, right?
What is going on here? Did something happen?
Not like Kim is. Oops. She asks, startled. Jean Vicmar turns to her and says,
What happened is my partner made contact. It's not good. He seemed confused, delirious even.
Vicmar stops to think.
Mac, the torso.
The torso?
His fist, laughing hoarsely and apparently telling some dirty story to his partner, Chester McLean, near the entrance.
Yeah, Mullen was fucked, alright. Sounded fucking drunk to me.
Yeah, Mac's right. This was some gnarly shit there. I mean, before he started begging for money, it was...
Wait, why is Chester McLean... He's sitting right next to Thorsten, right? Why is he sounding like we hear him through a radio? I mean, we're still in the car, like leaned in here, but we're not actively on the radio anymore, and everyone else seems clear because they're just in our mind, right? We're not actively talking to them on the radio.
Enough! None of this is funny. It's fucking sad. That's what it is.
Okay.
He's a cop. He's one of us, goddamn this.
Vicmar is a little bit empathetic with us. All eyes turn to Satellite Officer Vicmar. The commotion dies down.
We must help him.
Minot looks down at her neatly polished black shoes. There is a quiet firmness to her voice when she speaks.
Yeah? How do you fucking plan to do that, huh? Get him off the drink? Go jogging with him in the morning and get him on carrot juice? He's a lost man.
I just know we can't give up on him when he's at his weakest. He wouldn't.
The crowd in the room has started fidgeting uncomfortably. Someone's trying to slip out unnoticed. And earlier I was saying like, okay, they're laughing about me, they're not very empathetic, but yeah, once again, these people are like very well written as like humans, right? Who might have unempathetic moments and laugh about misfortune or whatever, but at the end they still have a conscience, right? And they're still human, and this is not like just completely unaffecting to them what's happening to us, or what's been happening to us over the last couple of years, it seems. And that's another thing that Disco Elysium does very well, is take all of its characters seriously in their humanity, right? Like, none of them is just like an unemotional kind of variable that's in the story because it's needed at that point in the story, right? All of them have human emotions, it feels like, and that's pretty cool.
Mac, man the door. You know what he told me? I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. Those were his words.
He gestures Torsen to block the doorway, then turns to Minot. He sighs heavily and turns to address the room.
This shit does not leave this room.
Right.
Not a word of this to the captain. Or anyone else. We'll give him a couple of days to put his shit together.
And it seems like we've had episodes like this before, because they know what to expect of me. But also, it's not like I'm always this dysfunctional, right? I'm still solving cases, and I'm having like an episode again. And I'm obviously not like in prison or out of my job yet. So they're like, okay, there's a chance after a couple of days he'll get his act together.
I guess I can hold off the report for a few days.
Old boy lights another cigarette.
Good. Okay, everybody. Nothing but a prank call here. We all got our laughs. Now get back to work.
Far north, on the other side of the motorway, the officer quietly hunches with his hand in the motor carriage.
That's us. Right, so we do have a couple new items. Equip this to open locked containers in the world. Pry bar. The red-tipped pry bar has Carson T Heavy Duty engraved just below the handle. It is satisfyingly heavy, and perhaps one of the most useful tools to carry around. Chain cutters. Equip these to open locked containers in the world. The meanest looking pair of cutters you've ever seen. Made in Gottwald by Wohlschirm Werkzeuge. No chain wire nor barbed fence will ever stand in your way again. They look hungry, ready to choose steel. Flashlight. Equip this to discover secret orbs in shady areas. A police flashlight bearing the logo of Grundstellung RAO. The small dynamo packed inside this handheld illumination device theoretically gives you the ability to produce a tiny amount of electricity anytime, anywhere. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know if there's any part of the game where you actually need the flashlight's electricity for something other than the flashlight, but not entirely sure. Let's put that on. Pay for damages. Ask your station for additional funds. Well, that didn't work out so well. So we do have find smokes, sing karaoke, report your badge missing, no. Who made the call reporting the crime? Call Sylvie using Kim's shortwave. Pay for damages, find out who's in the union box. Pissing competition, get a reality lowdown. What is the race enigma? Smoker on the balcony. Locate the door number 28 in the apartment building. Oh, I can do that too. 20 more XP. Right, let's talk to Tommy le Homme here.
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
The man mutters to himself, accenting the beats as he goes. And Tommy le Homme is like one of my... I don't know, there's so many good characters in this, but he's a very, like, nice dude as well, right? Which means, in this playthrough, we're gonna be as shitty to him as we can. I am the law.
You sure are, my man.
He nods emphatically, I mean.
Yes, people get that you are the law. You really don't have to keep saying
I've said it like 2 or 3 times now, right? What's going on here?
The jam, my man.
He motions toward the sprawl of lorries with a sweeping gesture. What's the jam?
Traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days.
He glances south, down the road. Limbo, huh? So that's where I am.
Yeah, exactly.
How long have you been here?
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
What's mazout? Could you say it again, only a little less plodding?
Everyone's a critic, man. It's okay. I've been here a whole week already.
He waves you off.
So tell me, what do you need?
Care to got any smokes on you?
Nope, don't smoke.
Nods toward the big lorry behind him.
Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around, waiting for the jam to disperse. Or waiting for the sweet release of death.
Yup, nothing wrong with that statement. Your senses have nothing to add. You'll have to ask around elsewhere.
So he does have smokes, I suppose.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3 T's. Revachol's weird.
He points toward the harbor. Care to spare some change for a working stiff?
Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work.
Sudden financial duties snap him out of his daze. They who?
The bosses, man.
I think this is the liberal answer, right? That's the left-wing answer. And this is... Or maybe this is the moralist one too. Or this one is, I don't know. So you're broke, got it. What else did I have to ask here?
You know, what you need?
Tell me more about this strike.
It's like whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out.
What's the union demanding?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. Precise demands and so on.
Ah, yes. From the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
What do you think the company wants?
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching. Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do.
All of who?
Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really.
He smiles awkwardly. Not you?
Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
He glances down the road, towards the horizon, a glint of something in his eyes.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures?
Yeah.
The more transient, the better. When one's ended, you can get onto the next one.
Know anything about the dead man, the one hanging behind the hostel there?
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy.
Busy with what?
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs.
Wait, what?
Nothing. I'm just messing with you, man. Don't mind my idle verbosity.
I like that he cuts it short if we aren't as understanding, right? Because he would have told us his conclusion, I think, if we had asked. What are you hauling anyway?
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Time to arrest him.
You're under arrest.
Ha, no, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing.
Can I still arrest
They
him?
usually get shipped to Grad and the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il-Moran market lately.
So Grad was the Soviet Union, right? Occident is the West. And Il-Moran? I'm not sure. Could I get one of those fan tracksuits you're hauling?
We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
There's no denying it. Your body needs to feel the touch of some good performance wear.
That's your machine behind you?
This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
Interested? Not really. I just asked because I don't know, must be a cop reflex.
Yeah, it must be. Your job's to know all these little things, isn't it? Well, my job is to deliver tracksuit trousers.
He pats the back of the lorry.
There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this lorry.
So nothing illegal then?
Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
Never. They would never illegalize sport. Sport is the most wholesome thing known to man.
It's a challenging one, wow. Right, another question then.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
I wonder if we could have gotten a +1 here somewhere if we'd been a bit nicer to him. I mean, we'll try, but our empathy actually doesn't suck. But
ease into
yeah.
it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
My man, I want to know about your soul. Although the failure says ease into it, so maybe the correct thing is actually to do this. I don't know.
You really are the law, aren't you? I get that being bluntly observant and inquisitive comes with the territory, but it certainly doesn't help with your conversational skills.
My man! That's such a good line too. My man, I want to know about your soul. Good opening line for any conversation, really.
Just like that, he slips out of your reach. It is possible the yelling didn't help.
You think? Alright. I'm good for now. Good talk.
Don't be a stranger.
Gives you a salute with 2 fingers. Alright, what else do we have in this jam? Also, I've been keeping a flashlight pointed at his face. Let's talk about the statue, why not? We have 1 cent of money. Oh no, voiceover. Horseback monument. An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air, with the aid of numerous ropes and rods. Oh, that's also why it's called a roundabout. It's actually a statue in the middle of the roundabout. This looks pretty precariously balanced, right? This must be hollow, or it can't be very heavy. Otherwise, there's like one... it almost looks like a rope or a metal rope, right? But it otherwise this one thing couldn't, you know, hold it up. Oh, this requires an encyclopedia check, and we don't have any of that. So maybe we don't get this talk at all. That's interesting. Silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, I am Philippe III, the Squanderer. Oh, he was talking about a squanderer, right? The greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philippe II, the opulent, father of Philippe IV, the insane. What did this king do?
What did he do? You have no idea what you did a week ago. How would you know what this guy did many centuries ago? High above you, the king stands triumphantly oblivious to your memory trouble.
Alright. Well, that's a shame. I actually wanted to talk about this a bit, because the backstory is quite interesting, right? Of this extremely wasteful king who basically ruined his kingdom's finances by his extravagance. He's not called the Squanderer for nothing. And this statue is actually like a work of modern art, where like a couple of artists thought it was ironic to display this king known as the Squanderer, known for his wealth and for spending it unwisely, in one of the poorest parts of the city, right? But obviously the statue is blown up, or is in the process of being blown up, because this is what this represents. It's not like sitting on its base, right? But it's in the air and breaking apart because it's in the process of being blown up, as it has been by the communards who attacked this place a couple of decades ago. It's like, yeah, the squanderer being blown up in the middle of the poorest part of town. How ironic. And then Harry, or Encyclopedia or whatever, also comments that yeah, more recent artists or whatever with more real social sensibilities have criticized this, and yeah, thought it was maybe like a bit tasteless to put this in the poorest part of town, to spend money on like an ironic monument here instead of, you know, improving the lives of people. And also that people in this area like don't like it at all. And I've always found this so interesting because I've seen like 1 or 2 or maybe 3 up to this point Let's Players play this game too. And even if it isn't like immediately clear what the politics of the Let's Player are, this is one of those moments in the game where you can kind of glean a little bit about their values, depending on how they react to this, right? And some people are like, oh, this is kind of a like cool idea for a monument. Pretty clever, right? And others are like, okay, this is pretty tasteless in a poor part of town like this. And yeah, I think this is like one of the delineations between being like more of a liberal and more of a left-winger, right? I mean, not to speak of right-wingers or anything, but the delineation between left-wing and liberal. And as a liberal, you're like probably going to like this more, I would say. You're probably going to be like more of a la pour la person who thinks like art has no purpose but itself, and art has a value on its own. And whereas as a left winger, you're also very appreciative of art, but you're also like, okay, art is better if it, you know, says, like, somehow relates to the conditions it finds itself in. And if it's not, like, completely devoid of any values or of any connection to real-world struggles, right? So a left-winger would always look at this art and try and figure out its connection to the place it's in, and what it's doing in the place it's in, and what it says about like real-world struggles of poor people here, right? And that's why they would probably say more so like, okay, this is a bit tasteless, maybe maybe like work with the community to create some art here, or spend the money on actually improving the lives of people. Not saying that art can't improve the lives of people, but not by like, you know, urban elitist artists who just come in here and into this quarter and gentrify it with like a stupid ironic statue. I don't know, ask the people what kind of art they want here and do it with them maybe. So yeah, I find this, I mean, it's such a small thing, but I find it's like very symbolically interesting how people react to this statue and the background behind it. And it also says like a whole lot about your approach to art, or what you think what good art does or doesn't do, right? Like, is it connected to real social struggles, or is art that is connected to real social struggles better? Or is it, you know, probably a more liberal person would say it might actually make the art worse because it puts it in the service of something. So it's not an end, but just a means to an end, and it can get preachy and stuff, right? That'd be more the like liberal side of things, I would say. Whereas the left-wing side of things would be like, okay, art that's not connected to any real-world struggles is just self-indulgent at the end. And I think that's an interesting discussion where I definitely, like, I can see a little bit of both sides of the argument, even though politically I lean much more towards the left than liberalism, I would say. But yeah. And this is another thing, like, just a statue in the game world that gives you so much to think about. What's the time? Okay. A little bit more time here.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your...
Wait.
The lieutenant stops you before you snap.
She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
Why?
Why? I just told you why.
Kim putting his foot down here. Yeah, we can only talk to her once Kim's gone. Right, that's everything in the traffic jam, I think, so... What else? Oh, that's right. That's something that's easy to do before this episode ends, is go back into the apartment building and have a look at the couple of rooms where we needed the chain cutter or the pry bar or or the flashlight to enter, right? Ooh, signal blue naval coat. +1 suggestion. -1 half-light. Officerial poise. Aye, Captain. This classic double-breasted coat suits everyone, including you, and if you ever find yourself battling winds at the helm of a ship, then the coat's heavy fabric has got your back, even if moths have left a few holes in it. I mean, suggestion isn't bad, but -1 half-light... I don't know. Right, so... This is outside, this is to Cindy the Skull, we can do that too. This is where the real estate agent was. Can we enter? Yeah, she's gone now, alright. And there's still these 2 doors. Like this one?
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says number 11.
We do need the chain cutters, I think.
This door has been closed with a padlock.
Ooh.
A chalk-drawn number on the board says...
That's pretty bad. We do have these which increase interfacing, I think. +1. Anything else that can help us here? +1 psyche, +1 intellect, +1 physique. We have nothing that gives us motorics, unfortunately.
This door has been closed.
I mean, let's try.
A chalk-drawn... What are you doing? You're trying to cut the body of the lock with the chain cutters, and it's really not working.
That cost us morale. That sucks. That cost us 2 morale. Holy crap, that was expensive. The lieutenant points to the corroded loop with a gloved finger. I don't like that that cost 2.
He's just trying to help. Don't take it bad. Relax.
I'm gonna lose more morale here, ain't I?
Perhaps you should give it another go.
Kim pointed out the shackle.
The shackle
Alright.
snaps like a twig, and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud. It should be possible to enter now.
We were trying to cut the body of the lock. Nice.
After you, detective.
Also, I want to put this on again, because I don't want to miss any tear! A flamboyant poster of a white star, real lithography. Photos of revolutionaries posing with guns. Books of critical theory on the monstrosities of capital and such. Nice. Samarizian lounge jacket, +1 conceptualization. And a 9mm bullet. Ooh. I mean, I don't want conceptualization, but looks kinda neat. Summer plans. A classic white summer jacket, loved both by the Samarizian Communist Party and the accompanying subtropical drug traffickers. It fits you well, regardless of your political ambitions. So this is like... Samarizian is like Cuban or Haitian or something.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Mazov.
The man himself. Kim, who's Krasmazov?
He's known as the father of scientific communism, also known as Masovianism. His theories about economic history greatly influenced, some would even say sparked, the anti-centennial revolution.
Krasmazov was a sexual deviant, a zoophile probably.
The lieutenant raises a brow.
I hate deviants. I mean, they're both right-wing answers, right?
Thank you for sharing this wonderful opinion on human sexuality.
He pretends to read the economics book open on the table.
There aren't many communists around, not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology going, it seems.
Why does this tenant have a bust of Krasmazov in their bedroom?
The white star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting.
He looks around before mumbling to himself. Okay, nothing else in here. I mean, the jacket was nice. Okay, so there was this one apartment too where the door was just open, but it was dark inside. Right. These shower curtains are covered in some sort of slime. Yuck. 35 cents. That's all? I mean, maybe with more... perception. We could actually see something here. Okay, that was underwhelming. And this... can't be opened, okay. Right, let's go to the balcony. We can also talk to the cleaning lady about the communard's apartment, I suppose. And about a couple of the other things we see here. The breaker box is full of cigarette butts and electric wires. 12 cents. Tools. We probably don't need a flashlight right now. Just a door, nothing for you. Just a door, nothing for you here right now. Okay. Someone's growing rosemary, thyme, and a cactus.
This door is made of metal and
there it is.
Reinforced. Someone here really values their security.
Smoker on the balcony lives here.
Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady
Yeah.
said the smoker on the balcony lives.
Let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door.
So, trivial one with 6. I mean, we can still fail that, right? Especially if you have like a -1 in something. I mean, even if you have a -1, then a 7 is enough, so that's still over 50% chance of success, but, you know.
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening.
He looks around, taking in the cold spring air.
We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good?
I never quite understood why Kim's not like, let's go tonight after 9, but rather, let's go tomorrow after 9. I mean, I guess it makes sense if they didn't want to make different lines for Kim depending on how late it is, because if we'd gone here after like 10 this evening or something, of course it makes sense, let's go tomorrow. But if I go here like at 8 in the morning, then wait until the next evening, it's actually kind of long. But yeah, I don't get it. What do you mean? I don't think I can make it.
It's alright. We don't have to be here 9 p.m. sharp. I just need to write something down in my notebook.
He has already opened his little blue book.
Tomorrow evening, right here. Apartment number 28. Good. Let's go.
Damn. Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry. You'll get him.
This is the door to apartment 29. Apartment 30. Like I can't get to here from here right now. Okay. Let's see about Cindy the Skull, why don't we? And then we're pretty much finished with this apartment building. I think. We can talk to the old lady again, but first we'll talk to Cindy. Tear. This looks cool. 191. Above a tarp flaps in the wind. Forgotten hammers and nails rust. The door is locked. You can't get in. Check out this area before we talk to her. Someone's been sleeping here recently. Must be her place. Enough coal to last for several winters. Smells of chemicals. Ooh, poor Lom laborer jeans. Is that Tommy le Homme? -1 reaction speed, +1 electrochemistry. They are kind of superfluous, right? Because our current trousers have +1 electrochemistry too. We have -1 savoir-faire, and this is -1 reaction speed. Yeah, same. 437. Damn. It's money. That's all in here, right? Yeah.
The streets will flow red once more.
Damn.
A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Don't use that tone with me. I am the law.
Sod off, pig man. Art is above the law.
Despite the sass, she puts the brush aside.
She's grown frustrated with her work and welcomes the opportunity to challenge authority in other ways.
What are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit.
So she's been painting the skull here, and the paint is running down the side of the building.
I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
Why are you so committed to defacing the building?
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, you know. Summon the forces of crime and social chaos with a wall-sized invitation.
You don't know what to write?
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cabs. And my name's not Mona, so...
She wants it to be something true and total.
I have an opinion on this.
Yeah?
I'm gonna have to stop you. This is hooliganism.
Let's be realistic. What are you going to do? Throw her off the balcony?
Yes, Kim.
You heard your partner, Piggy. I'm unstoppable.
I condone the idea of using physical force on her. She's a girl.
Physical instrument. You keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at?
She nods disdainfully toward the woman performing maintenance on the boat docked next to the pier. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Who is she?
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Good idea, Piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to us on.
I'm wondering if this dialogue by Kim, if we get that before we talk to Joyce anyway, or if we just get that in that talk with Cindy here. Do you know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch. Pigstein.
Pigstein, nice.
Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Oh, so there is people who are going to be helping me,
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
And we haven't even met Kuno.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Is that bed in the coal room yours?
Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
Don't you have a real home?
Does anyone in a city like this?
If there's pain about any particular home she's lost, she's buried it deep, fortified herself against it.
You're a miner?
Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens.
It's not the nicest place, but I guess it'll have to do.
It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all.
Cool. I have other questions.
Shoot, Piggy. It's what you do, isn't it?
Catch you later, Cindy.
Watch your back, Ungulate.
Ungulate?
You've got eyes on you.
Does that mean you're looking at my ass? Right, that's everything here. Let's talk to the old lady again and then call it an episode.
Give me a moment. Ask away, policeman.
What can you tell me about Cindy?
The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still...
She scoffs. She leans on her broom.
She leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others.
So we can't talk about the commune art. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.